That's not even... That's going in.
I'm actually a quarter Welsh.
No, you're not.
I literally am.
No, you're not.
My great-granddad is Welsh. It's my homeland. I love Cardiff.
Where's your favourite pub or bar in Cardiff? Can't even name one.
No.
What's your favourite place in Cardiff?
Like the Cardiff Strip. I have a memory of the first time I went out in Cardiff, 18 years old, and it was a summer's day.
Right.
And I was like, this is literally like, I feel like I'm in abroad right now.
You thought you were
I
Benidorm.
literally feel like I'm in Spain. I've never been to such a great place in my life.
Just got some things I need you to read out.
Okay.
Can you start with that, please?
5% ground beef.
Sorry, that's my shopping list. Sorry. It might be that one.
Nationwide. Whoa, that's my joint account.
Don't. You can keep that one actually. just so I don't.
I love the rule of three. Chris, thanks for doing this for me. I can just start by saying I really appreciate the opportunity and platform you've given me here on the Amicus Lawcast, sent by God.
Sent by God.
Yeah, to talk, amen, to talk about not only my career in conveyancing, about not only my career and how great an employer Amicus Law is, and that in reading this out, I'm vouching for you to get a significant pay rise. Otherwise, I will resign. Can I quickly also mention how handsome you look?
Thank you. What?
Not only today, but every day.
I didn't write that down. That's why would you say
chap.
that? And then if you could do this one as well, please.
Okay. It's like ransom note. Mum and Dad. Hi, my name is Emily House. Haha, yeah, just like the one you live in. How did you know I was going to say that? It's like my catchphrase. Anyway, that's just like... What's that say, sorry?
I don't know, that's a note you've written.
Nominative what?
Nominative determinism.
Oh, okay, what does that mean?
Keep reading.
Chris, can you explain to me what that... Please, on the card I have just written for you.
Thank you, it was really nice of you to write this for me as well. Thanks, Emily, for allowing me to speak on the show. Nominative determinism is a theory that you gravitate towards fields of work that sound similar to your name.
No way.
People think that it's to do with an implicit egotism present in all of us, but with me it's an egotism that's pretty explicit. It's not a very nice thing to say about me, but I appreciate you letting me speak. Welcome to the Amicus Lawcast.
Yay!
Okay, as with every episode of the podcast, I need to tidy this up, that's really stressing me out. As with every episode of the podcast, we asked the previous guest to ask the next guest a question.
Okay.
Jenna was on last week, and she asked the question, if you were stuck in an elevator with 3 people from Amicus Law for 24 hours, who would you want to be stuck with and why?
Oh my gosh. Obviously Chris.
Okay, well, yeah. But if you couldn't choose me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably Jenna.
Okay.
I mean, she's just such great vibes. She's so...
Would you not get a headache?
No comment.
Okay.
Can I say that? No. Jenna, because she's such good, fun, bubbly vibes. I'm trying to go for... the obvious choice would be my team. Let's go out of the box. John.
Okay.
What a great guy. Such
What
a
a man.
solid bloke. And he's really funny as well.
Yeah.
We were going on about NFI last week. Do you know what that means?
I don't know what that means.
Not flipping invited.
What?
And he
Can you keep the swearing to a minimum, please?
messaged me. Sorry, you're going to have to bleep that. He messaged me on Teams saying, thanks for not inviting me to the National Fisheries Institution. It's like, such a funny guy.
What a man.
And then, final choice. Probably Andrea Parsons, because she's, also a babe. But I could just learn so much off of her, and she's such great vibes as well.
I see that.
That's probably my answers.
No, I appreciate
But
that.
a great selection across the board.
I couldn't have chosen 3 better people myself.
Yeah,
No.
thanks.
So your passion for the legal profession began straight after secondary school, but I've come to learn that you had a passion for fashion at the same time.
I did.
What can you tell me about the other career path you were considering after school?
So I wanted to be a fashion designer, as probably every 16-year-old girl does. I've got a GCSE in textiles, and I had
And a Vinted account.
and a Vinted account, yep. And I had an apprenticeship lined up, ready to go at Sassy Holford Bridal, making wedding dresses, and then I chickened out.
What, you just didn't even go to the first day?
No, I literally thought, what am I doing? Let's get an office job. Who wants to be creative anyway?
Did you have any other jobs other than working in law firms?
I started grinding at 14 years old.
Yeah.
I used to work for a catering company
Yeah.
doing wedding catering. So imagine being sat there on your special day and 14-year-old Emily comes with you, Steve. Congratulations! And then I worked at Bill's restaurant, which is now Deck House in Taunton. I worked there when I was 16. Had to get the bus there and back, proper grind after school.
You've been
And
a
then
grafter since
I
you were
have
young,
been, yeah. I just want that disposable cash. I have a shopping
And you've been
addiction.
disposing of it.
Yeah. And then I worked at another law firm in Taunton, so I got my apprenticeship there when I was 16, straight from school. And I've been at Amicus now for 4.5 years, something like that.
Was it so when you got the apprenticeship at the other law firm, which we won't mention the name of? Was it something that you were actively pursuing, wanting to get into law, or is it something that you sort of fell into?
It's something I fell into, but it's a funny story. So my dear colleague Georgia Cavill, who is also
Legend in the game.
sister, and my sister-in-law, if I was to be a married woman, she was doing law and conveyancing, and I kind of weighed up my options. And I was really good at history, and I thought history and law.
Yeah.
Basically the same thing,
They
right?
are, yeah.
Basically. So I thought, I could do that. And I kind of saw Georgia. I thought, she's doing all right. I'll have a crack at that. And
Look
that's
at you
how I
now.
fell into it. I know, look at me now. Look at me now.
So you've worked in law firms ever since you left school. Which is the best one you've ever worked for? And please just bear in mind when you answer the question, the top dogs at Amicus Law are listening and watching for
Obviously this one.
Yeah.
Literally, look at my cardie. Look at this, green. Even my nails, green. That's dedication to the
Jess,
brand.
you can put the gun away now, thank you. Would you like some fun facts about the year 2018?
Absolutely. What a great year.
One of the best years, they're saying. In a camel beauty contest in Saudi Arabia, 12 camels were found to have been injected with Botox in their lips.
No way.
Divas. The Simpsons 636th episode was aired. Cardi B became the first female rapper to have 2 number ones in the charts. The first protest of the Armenian Revolution happened, which is something I know you're quite passionate about.
Yeah.
You don't stop talking about it. And I think possibly the most significant thing about 2018 is when you started your Silex qualification on the 12th of September.
Yeah.
I think most people, when they think of the legal profession, imagine someone that's gone to university for a few years, then started at a law firm and built up their, their skills there. But Silex isn't really like that. Can you explain what Silex is and what the process is like?
I didn't go to university and I didn't go to college full time to do my training. So there's so many kind of ways into the legal field nowadays. So Silex is one of those. It's kind of a different governing body for lawyers. For conveyancers, you also have the Licence of the Counselled Conveyancers, which is kind of another body. And of course you have your solicitors and stuff like that. So I started my training when I was 18 and I went to Western College twice a week, 6 till 9 o'clock, and did kind of my qualifications after work for an apprenticeship. And
What sort of things do you have to do there?
Oh, land law I did. I did land law, client care skills, legal research. I even did family law for
Oh
2
my
units. I know, contract law I did litigation.
I couldn't imagine you doing that.
Yeah. I only did family because they were running it.
Okay, fair enough.
And of course conveyancing, of course.
The best one.
Of course.
Do you have a favourite law? Mine's SODS.
The law of attraction.
Right, okay.
Yeah, you know, everything happens for a
Do you
reason.
believe that opposites attract?
For sure.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a very
Me
nice
and
thing to say
Harry.
about Harry.
It's true though, they do attract, opposites do attract.
So Emily's been working in conveyancing for over 7 years and has built a strong local reputation for her approachable style.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Go out for nights out with estate agents. They love it.
Oh, we'll get into that. And thorough knowledge of property transactions. Can you just start by listing every property transaction ever recorded?
We would be here such a long time.
That's fair enough, and we have very limited time.
Yeah. In the thousands. We're in the thousands.
Thousands of property transactions ever.
Yeah, what I've done.
Okay. What do you think you've learned over time that's built your immaculate reputation, and do you think your appearance on this podcast will tarnish it forever?
No, I think actually they'll see me as the people's princess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can say that, but I just did.
Are you planning on getting a son?
No, I thought we weren't going to discuss house today. That's for
You
the other
brought
podcast.
that up. You brought that up, not me.
Yes, I think the reason why I think it's fair to say I'm a well-known figure in the community and the legal world, and with all the estate agents and referrers, and I'm very down to earth, and I think that's probably why. I'm quite not non-serious. That doesn't sound really good, does it, for an associate?
I don't
of
take
the
anything
firm?
very seriously.
I don't take anything seriously, but I have a really personal and laid-back kind of approach.
Humble as well.
Humble, yeah, approach to my work and with people. And I think just that is the way you've got to kind of go about it nowadays. And I think, you know, when people automatically think a lawyer or whatever, they automatically probably think, oh, stuffy. And
they wouldn't be wrong. But you're not a lawyer, so no.
I'm just Emily.
You're a qualified Silex professional.
But I just breaking down those stigmas, and I just like to get along with everybody as well.
It's nice being liked by people.
Yeah, it is. That's what I strive for. I must be liked.
Do you think the relationships that you've built over time with estate agents and third-party vendors has enabled you to deliver the high quality service you provide for all your clients?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you think that enables you to do? What do you think having that positive relationship with, let's say, an estate agent gets you for your client?
Communication being the biggest one. My day one, Nicola Evely at Gibbons Richards, shout out to her. We pick up the phone to each other and can just hash out anything over the phone. I think one of the biggest probably issues in conveyancing is that a lot of people forget we're all working towards the same goal. Everybody wants the same outcome at the end of the day. Why not make that easier for you, me, and the dog?
That's sort of like the difference between like conveyancing and family law, because in conveyancing you're just trying to buy and sell a house, whereas in family law, in a divorce, like my horrendous ex-wife, she wants to take everything from me and she wants to leave me with nothing, whereas my lawyer, they want to make sure that I have, and you know, I'm using Lev at the moment for my divorce. Great. And it honestly,
what powerhouse,
one of the best lawyers I've ever met in my life, so he's really fighting my corner. But anyway, sorry for
I think in the industry, a lot of people kind of forget that we're all working towards the same thing. So if you have that open relationship with not just your referrers but other solicitors, I get on really well with kind of all the local solicitors. If you can work together to reach a solution amicably and quickly, you know, the proof's in the pudding, amicus. Why wouldn't you?
Emily was recently promoted to an associate in my personal life, and if she keeps going, she might even be considered a pal in good time. But also recently, Amicus, you've been promoted to associate in recognition for her dedication and high level of service she consistently provides to clients. Round of applause. Well done.
Yeah, it's a flex.
So whose eyes did you pull the rug over for that?
Well, obviously my boss, Claire. I obviously just kind of rizzed her so much, and she thought this...
Can you explain to people that are going to be able to retire at a normal age what Riz is, please?
Riz is, well, it could be so many things, but Riz to me is just wowing someone.
Right, okay.
That's how I take Riz. How would you take Riz?
Is this podcast Riz?
This is a Rizzy podcast, yeah. I don't think that's a word. Cut that.
No, that's going in. It's all going in. I don't know what Riz is. I'm not online.
No, I'm sorry to hear that.
So you've also been on the other side of conveyancing. Like you've bought 2 houses.
I have, yeah.
Landlord, and sold one.
Yes.
all through Amicus, I presume?
Not my first house, no.
I'll just so cut that. Just say yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, just as I thought, because where else would you go for a top tier service at a reasonable price? A law firm on your side that delivers legal advice clearly and simply.
Absolutely.
So what's the conveyancing process? What has it been like for you on the other side?
Humbling,
Yeah.
eye-opening as well. When I bought my first house, you lived at home. There was no kind of real stress or pressure. But when we sold our house just last year and bought our forever home, I think it was quite an eye-opening and good experience to understand what it's actually like for the clients sometimes. An estate agent told me once that every conveyancer should move house once every few years just to realise the process. Because it's easy for me to pick up the phone and say to someone, yeah, we haven't exchanged today, we haven't completed today, and put the phone down. But then when you're actually on that other side of the phone, oh my gosh, it's just the most stressful thing in the world.
And you need to get moving things booked.
Yeah, that's exactly. And just like the juggling of just general life as well, and packing and just, oh gosh, utilities, you name it. Everything is so hard. And it's not, I don't think it's not a known fact that moving house in the UK is an unnecessarily complicated thing. There are so many hoops that we have to jump through for clients to get to the kind of the end goal. Because I've been working in the legal industry for almost 10 years now, doing conveyancing for, gosh, over 3/4 of that. And even kind of 7-8 years ago, it was nowhere near as restricting as it is today.
What do you think's changed over that time that's made it so difficult?
Oh gosh, just regulations, expectations as well. I think COVID has a lot to kind of say for that. Just kind of, those couple of years where everything was just so crazy. The stamp duty holiday is a massive one as well, and kind of the knock-on effect that's had on people and employees or just conveyancers and workloads and whatnot. There's just been so much kind of up in the air recently in the conveyancing industry. It's always changing, whether that be for better or for worse. But
Where would you recommend going for your stamp duty holiday?
Ibiza, what a great place. Yeah.
If you could change anything, if you had a magic wand and could change one thing about conveyancing to make the experience better for everyone, what do you think you'd do?
I think everybody needs to have a bit more skin in the game.
Right.
Because currently, I could be buying your house. I could be 6-7 weeks down the line, outlaid £500-600 on various disbursement searches, and there's nothing for you to turn around and just say, well, I've just changed my mind. Totally understand that sometimes houses fall through for, very specific reasons, but there is no kind of recourse at the moment. And in this grand scheme of things, a couple £100 when you're dealing with so much money, it's not masses of money, but the effect that can have on somebody's life for the next few months is massive.
Do you think that the recent announcements too, is it sellers have to start providing information packs?
Yeah, so that's what they used to kind of do back in kind of the early 2000s. I don't know whether it will have the outcome that they're hoping.
What do you think is going to happen?
Well, you could have the opposite situation where obviously there's going to be a seller outlaying thousands of pounds. That might not end up actually selling. So there's always going to be a stumbling point somewhere, and that is just how it's going to be. So whether that's the stamp duty, obviously the rates were cut and then they went back up again. Well, that's a stumbling point now. Recently, the government have announced that conveyancers will have to register as tax advisors by May. But at the time of this podcast, the guidance on what that needs to be done for that is very vague. Another stumbling point, and then another stumbling point, just how much work is involved to be able to get kind of an outcome. There's so much reliance on third parties nowadays. You've got your new build estates, so you've got your management packs, that's £300. You've got your searches, that's £500. you're already talking 800 quid down in disbursements plus your legal costs, which, you know, appreciate isn't the cheapest thing in the world.
Very reasonable here.
Very reasonable
Some
here.
of the most reasonable legal costs.
Very open and honest with fixed fees as well. But, you know, it's all still outlay. That's got to come out of someone's pocket.
I think some people would suggest that maybe we should stop looking at housing as asset trading, like for investments, and maybe it should be a human right. But I think that's probably a bit extreme. In your conveyancing experiences, what do you think you've taken as the client that you now apply when you're doing work for your clients?
Compassion.
Yeah.
Compassion. You have to be compassionate, and you have to be a personal person in conveyancing, because you're literally dealing with people's lives. Maybe not in the same impact as if you were dealing with, you know, someone's will or something like that. But I think that's probably the same across every kind of department. You have to have a level of compassion and personability with people. But another thing I think I'd probably take, I created a load of new like email precedents, not form precedents, don't worry, I'm not using my own forms.
I'm sure everyone that's watching this knows what that means.
Panicking, don't panic.
Yeah.
But just simple changes of kind of things to send to a client at each stage. Because I think that's the biggest confusion as well, what actually needs to be done at what stage and why we do it. So I've tried to break that down a lot easier for clients, and it has had a lot of positive feedback so far, so I'll take that.
Good to hear. And the house that you bought most recently, it's basically
My shed.
a shed at the moment. Were you expecting to have to do all this work when you bought it?
Yes, we knew it was a project, and we wanted a project, whether that was a stupid idea or
I'm going to put your
not.
address on the screen just so we can go have a look at it. Yeah.
I promise anybody who's watching this and lives in the Bridgewater, Taunton area, you would have seen my house. I won't tell you where it is, but you would have seen it. Yeah, you would have seen it. You'll know the house.
Yeah.
The biggest shock, I think, when we first moved in, gosh, top 3 moments probably. We first moved in and the drains were blocked, and there was caca flowing out in our garden. The second one was probably when we woke up in the middle of the night because all our fascia board came off the side of the house. But the third one is probably just having a nice big garden now for my dog, Nelly.
We're getting on to Nelly, don't you worry.
It's a passionate subject of mine. But it'll all be worth it in the end. It will be. Eventually.
You know the thing that's attached to your fireplace, the thing that goes through the house?
Yeah.
What's that called?
Oh, my chimney.
Yeah, thank you.
Did I say it right this time?
No, you didn't. So it's not just you that works in Bridgewater.
It's not.
It's not just you that works in Bridgewater for conveyancing. You work in what some might describe as a team. Others might call it a family.
Yeah.
But I think what we can all agree on is that they're all fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a Bridgewater conveyancing team. Round of applause, please,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
What a great set of ladies.
Can you tell me a bit more about everyone in the Bridgewater conveyancing team?
So I've got 4 OGs, one including me, but you've heard enough about me for now. The other conveyancer within our team is Georgia Cavill, not Cavill, it's Cavill, like Henry Cavill. So she
Or
works,
Harry Cavill.
Or Harry Cavill,
Yeah.
yeah. So she works in the team. She's worked at the firm for, gosh, she must be here for like 9 years almost now. She's like an OG. So she works along the team.
Way to call your sister-in-law to be
Yeah,
old.
yeah.
I'm sure she'll appreciate that.
And then we've got Chrissy Humphreys. She is an amazing, experienced legal assistant. She's got like 20 plus years in the game. She knows her stuff. She could be although you're not supposed to say that anymore, I don't think, that's not the term, but she could be a lawyer.
Right, okay.
She's
Yeah.
just fabulous. And then we've got our lovely Jane Goddard. She is our best admin lady ever. She does all of our admin, and she takes so many phone calls, and she's just a babe. Fun fact, I've been on holiday with Jane before.
Where'd you go?
We went to Italy.
Oh,
Yeah.
not a party holiday.
No. Well, it kind of was. It was for a wedding, so
Right.
there was some partying. Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. Where in Italy did you go?
Sorrento.
I don't know where that is. Oh, like the ham.
That's. Is it called Sorrento ham?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, yeah, like the ham.
like the ham.
There was ham had, and like, you know,
Other picky
Parma
bits.
ham
Yeah.
and all those sort of things. The best thing about when you go to Italy is every time you order like a drink, they just give you nibbles for free.
They do that in Spain as well.
Yeah.
Something we should learn from them.
Proper countries.
We used to be a proper country. We used to have
We used to
nibbles
be.
before.
Yeah, bar snacks.
I've got a client testimonial here about the team. It says, absolutely the best solicitors we have ever used. We would recommend them time and time again.
Hell yeah.
Big thank you to the team for helping make our dreams a reality. And if you, kind viewer or listener, could make my dream a reality and check out today's sponsor of the episode, can I just say, can I pat myself on the back? What an incredible segue that was.
Yeah.
Going from the Bridgewater Conveyancing team to the sponsor of
That
the
was
episode.
really smooth. I respect
Yeah, and me
that.
talking about it makes it sound even smoother.
Yeah.
Did you know that? So even though none of these episodes are out yet, I've managed to secure us a sponsor, which I think's pretty good.
Shout out. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been sponsored by Amicus Law Solicitors.
No way.
Have you heard of them before?
Yeah.
What?
Seriously.
I actually hadn't heard of them before, but apparently they pay my wages.
Yeah.
I was shocked to learn that they provide legal services as
No
well.
way.
Yeah. But they've just asked if you could go to our wonderfully new updated website, amicuslaw.co.uk.
Yeah, it's a beautiful website.
One of the best websites, they're calling it. If you click on contact us, if you need help with anything to do with the law, preferably not breaking it, but Emily might know some people. We're running a competition for this season of the podcast where Emily has very kindly offered to cover the legal costs of your case, which is very nice of you to do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If I choose you as a winner, all you need to do is leave a comment telling me what your favourite part of the podcast was and leave a like and all that good stuff. Legal section, this giveaway is fictional, is also not redeemable for a cash equivalent. Can I give you some advice when it comes to darts?
Yeah, sure.
Do you play darts very often?
I have played.
Yeah.
But not regularly. No.
What's your normal technique when it comes to darts?
A couple glasses of wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just throw and hope for the best.
Next time you play darts, have a run up.
Okay.
It works really well.
Maybe we'll have to try that in 2 weekends' time.
Oh, that'll be a good time.
That's fight and talk right there.
So apparently outside of work you enjoy things, which
I
I
know.
don't know.
I
I
do
thought
have a
you,
life.
I thought you worked all the time. And your clients would think so with the level of service you provide.
Tell me about it.
I'm so good at this.
It's great flowing in together.
So I've just taken some notes of some activities you enjoy doing. You can tell me about them.
Yeah.
So I guess one of the most recent ones you've taken up is roller skating.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you get into that?
Wow. How did I get into it? So, we went to a roller disco with, I say we, I went with my mum and dad and my sister, who is 15. We went for a roller disco just one day for a bit of fun, which was being put on in Wellsprings in Taunton. And then my parents were like, oh my God, you know, we love this. We're going to start up roller skating. And I was a bit like, whatever, like, you do that. Anyway, 6 months down the line, they're regularly attending roller skating class. And they had another roller disco on. So they said, oh,
Nice.
did you want to come again? I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, that was fun last time. And I saw them doing their roller skating and they could do tricks. And I was like,
What kind of trick? So to the layman who doesn't roller skate, what sort of tricks can you do?
I can spin. I can go
Right.
backwards. I can go like front to back.
Yeah.
I can do something called the Tarantino.
Right.
So basically, I can.
Is this safe for work?
I couldn't probably demonstrate it right now, but I
Okay.
can go down and then lift my foot on one skate and come back up
I
again.
see what it's called, a Tarantino.
Yeah.
So are you keeping up with that at the moment?
I haven't been for like 2-3 weeks. I'll
Right.
be honest with you, but I am going tonight.
Okay,
At
yeah.
5:30, I'll be there.
Just letting everyone know if you want to come along.
Yeah, come along to. It's called Taunton Skate Squad.
Squaint Squad. If you want to come to the
Skate
Squeak Squad.
But yeah, I saw them doing their tricks, and I was a bit jealous of like, well, if you can do the tricks, I want to do the tricks. And then I started roller skating.
You know that American diva that's going viral online at the moment, the ice skater?
Yes.
That's what I'm imagining.
Yeah, the cool hair. Yeah,
That hair is very
unfortunately,
cool.
I am not that good. And ice skating is actually really different to roller skating as well.
Okay.
Completely different ball game.
Why are they
because
called skating then?
I don't know.
That sounds pretty similar to me.
And I have a quad skate, so like 2-2, not in
Is that like having stabilizers?
No.
No?
It's quite offensive actually.
Okay. Sorry.
I'm triggered.
I've just committed a faux pas in the roller
In the
skating.
skate world,
I'm
yeah,
really
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, I loved have so many hobbies.
You're quite active. You do Pilates.
I do Pilates. Just had Pilates yesterday. Great class. Do my Pilates. I'm trying to be a gym babe again.
Because I've written down here that you've done a marathon before. That's a lie.
Half marathon.
Half marathon,
I
that's
can't
what it
take
was.
full credit for a
Yeah.
full marathon. Yes, I did. I went through the usual mid-20s crisis, and I thought, what do I need to do to prove myself? I'm going to run a half marathon on one of the hottest days of the year. It was in Bristol, but I did it.
Nice, well done. Can you remember your time?
Yeah, like 2 hours, maybe 2 hours 15.
Oh, I think I did one. A couple of years ago. I did it in 2 hours 14.
No way.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That was my goal time, but
Yeah.
I'm going to say the heat was a bit too much.
No, that's right. It was much nicer when I did it. You've participated in the Watergate Adult Sports Day.
Yes, I
What?
have.
What did that involve?
Have you heard of High Rocks before?
Hybrid rock stars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly that.
I love being a hybrid rock star.
So I don't go there anymore, but it was a High Rocks gym, so it was basically like a High Rocks event.
Can you explain to everyone what
It's
High Rocks
like
is?
another mid-20s crisis. It's kind of like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of like sports day for adults, using machinery and stuff. But it's the latest craze. I don't do it anymore though.
No.
Maybe I should. Walking up these stairs, I was blowing. So.
Another hobby of yours, well, I guess I shouldn't call her a hobby because that's not very nice, but Nelly, your dog.
Yeah.
Can you tell us
She
about
is a
Nelly?
hobby. That's like that's
It's a
my
full-time
other
job.
full-time job.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm so glad you asked. Nelly is my 4-year-old pointer cross Vizsla. I love her more than anything. Sorry, Harry. She is a handful. She is but the most beautiful dog in the world though. She's like my child.
And you had to mutilate her recently.
I did.
Yeah. You love her so
not
much.
for aesthetics. So
Yeah.
because she lived such a great life with me, she suffered from something called happy tail syndrome. She used to have a tail about this long, and she kept hitting it on everything. So she had to have it docked, and now she had enough.
That's very sad.
Yeah.
So now we've gotten to the part of the podcast where I'm going to humiliate you for half an hour.
Can I just interrupt though, because I brought something along for the podcast as a prop. Are you familiar with Royal Court?
I love Brittany
So
Brexy.
I bought us both a crown
Oh my God,
to wear
that's incredible.
for the rest of the podcast. If we're done, it's quite small actually.
This isn't going to fit my head.
Maybe just rest on the side. That's quite, I can't say the word. Put it together, like Velcro it.
Okay, yeah,
And
that's a
then
good point.
like maybe put it to the side. It's kind of giving Pink Panther.
You've actually
It's
killed
kind of
it with
giving.
this.
I thought you'd like that. It was nothing too bad. I'm not that horrible.
I have a
But
chair.
now I'm
I
a
have a
bit
chair.
scared.
Why?
You said humiliate.
We've also done things outside of work together.
We have, yeah.
We participated in a charity event for Rounders.
Yeah.
We've got a picture of us here
It
with our
wasn't-
prizes from
yeah.
the charity raffle.
God, my legs look great in that picture. Must have had a pom-pom from the running. Holding up the team.
I was the only one running, let's be honest.
You were actually a model citizen
Oh,
for that.
I've got a note here saying, can you just confirm that I was not only the heart, but
Yeah.
also the soul of the team?
He was.
And without me, you guys would have come last and not second to last.
You were doing some real bits in the deep field there. Yeah, I was just on backstop, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe I was on second base. Can't remember. But yeah, you were putting a shift
It was a good
in.
day, yeah. I'm very passionate about Rounders.
I want to do it again this year.
Not many people know this about me, but I take Rounders deadly seriously.
As you should, yeah.
I was fuming.
It's not just for fun, this is for eternal glory. We need to get some practice in actually for the next one.
Oh, if there was a Rounders club, I would love it. That'd be so good.
Yeah.
You went on holiday to Paris in 2019?
Yeah, that's my first holiday that me and Harry went on together. I was young.
That's very sweet.
I know.
What can you tell me about the Yellow Vest riots?
So, yeah, it was. Do you remember those? Well, I say crazy Paris riots. I feel like Paris is always rioting. Good for
Legends,
them. Good for them.
As they should.
So I think I can't remember what this riot was over, but it was one of the more recent crazy ones they had, and we had our holiday booked, and everybody was really scared for us because it was all in the news, like it just kicked off. Well, we went and actually chased the riots and to watch it because it was crazy.
I can't use the example. I'll use the example that I want to use, and then I'll do a different one
Go
that's
on.
friendly. Sort of like but for riots.
Yeah.
So the one I'll use is sort of like
Hurricane
chasers.
Yeah, hurricane chasers. Yeah, that was literally us. So we'd see the smoke and be like, oh, should we go have a quick little look?
Nice.
And then there'd be like a car on fire. Like, no way.
That's sick. So For those of you that don't know what the Yellow Vest riots were, they were a series of populist grassroots weekly protests started in 2018, ended in 2020.
Yeah.
It started with an online petition which reached 1 million signatures. Mass demonstrations started on November 17th of 2018. The movement was initially motivated by rising energy and fuel prices, a high cost of living, and economic inequality. That sounds insane.
Yeah.
Those sort of conditions, they sound barbaric. And if we were to live in a time like that, you'd think people would, start doing things.
Yeah.
On the 3rd of December of a year that I didn't find out,
Yeah.
you did a Santa abseil at Cheddar Gorge.
I think that was probably like 2000, I'm going to say 21, 22.
Yeah. 21.
I did do a Santa abseil at Cheddar Gorge, yeah.
So on your post you said, I'm taking on the Santa abseil at Cheddar Gorge and raising valuable funds for St Margaret's Hospice.
Yeah.
What makes a fund valuable and how was the experience?
The experience was fine. I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie, so that was no drama. What was the first question again?
What makes a fund valuable?
What makes a
You said
fund
you were raising valuable funds.
Oh gosh, because
Then implicitly there are funds that aren't valuable.
Well, it was for St Margaret's Hospice, so
Right.
the funds to them would be valuable, which is an amazing hospice charity in Somerset. We do actually quite a lot for St Margaret's Hospice, including the colour run. Not sure if you're going to bring that up in a bit. So I do that. I volunteer every year to do the colour run, which
And
is
you just throw paint at people?
Just throw paint at people.
Class.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
What's a runner's favourite subject at school?
History, probably.
No, geography.
Oh.
This was your 21st birthday
Oh my god, look at my
at
feet.
Amicus Law. So yeah, I've actually got a comment here. So they got you some really nice presents there.
They did.
Did they also get you lessons on how to fake tan properly?
No, and I still haven't learned that. You
No.
can't. I have the remnants of some fake tan on, but I've hidden it today. All bad girls don't know how to fake tan properly. It's a fact,
Right.
and I mean that in the good sense, not the bad sense.
So, okay.
Bad girl. But
What was in that box?
oh, it was a personalised wine glass.
What did it say?
Emily's 21st birthday, and it had some chockies and some wine in it.
Nice,
as well.
that's incredible.
Still got it.
Bridgewater office. You're on notice. If I don't get anything like that for my birthday this year, there will be
trouble.
Problems. And Emily will lead that.
Duly noted.
So it says here, according to your Facebook, that you're a Silex qualified lazy sod, because on the places that you checked in on Facebook, let me just give you a few examples.
Go on.
3rd of June 2013, at home, not wanted to get off the sofa.
Valid.
On the 2nd of June 2013, you were on the M5 and you checked in. Were you walking, driving?
I'm going to assume driving.
So you checked in on your phone on the M5 and you're just admitting to that crime on camera?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, I couldn't drive then.
Ah.
I was just a
Good save.
child.
The 9th of December 2012, in Bridgewater, you were in my warm, comfy bed. Not mine, yours. On the 10th of November 2012, you were in my nice, warm bed.
You must have had the bed changed that day.
On the 14th of October 2012, you were in Lyme Regis.
Oh, I love Lyme Regis. What a great place.
On the 12th of October 2012, you were chilling in my beloved bed. And on the 10th of
My
October
beloved.
2012, for some reason you were in Birmingham this day, and you were snug in bed.
Christ, I didn't.
So between the year, so 2012,
That's a long time,
2013 were
isn't it?
very lazy years for
Yeah.
you.
I
Yeah.
mean, that is like prime teenager. I'm in bed. A lot of growing to be done in those years, so I don't hate her. She had to do what she had to do.
She was so real for that.
She was, yeah.
So I've been speaking to people in your life, and apparently you went on a holiday to Newquay in 2013.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so when you were in secondary school, did you do like enrichment week where you took a week out of school and did fun activities? I think it was just a Robert Blake thing. Anyway, it was my first year of year 7 and my parents wanted to take us on a holiday instead of doing this school activity week for all my friends, which was obviously social suicide. I was like, Mum, I want to be with my friends at, you know, Bream Park. But yeah, I went to Newquay for a week with my family in a caravan.
You went to St Ives as well? Was that at the
Yeah.
same time?
Yeah.
You went to see the Potter shop?
I was a big Harry Potter fan back in the day.
Not anymore, of course.
I went to Harry Potter Studios just last year.
Okay, well. Speaking of authors that we don't like anymore, World Book Day.
Yeah.
You turns out you're a fan of dressing up for World Book Day.
My mum used to make all our costumes pretty much from scratch.
And she killed it. She really did.
That was homemade.
Yeah.
That was Primark furs sewed together. That is a great one, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought, wow.
I wish I could find that and wear it again.
I
now.
thought that came straight from the movie.
Yeah.
I was shocked personally.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what fake tan product you used for this one, but
Must have been a bad batch. That was my Smurf. I don't even know Smurf was a book, but I assume it is. Well, for the argument, we'll say it was. Do you know what? Remember when it was like World Book Day and you dressed up as something, and it was like Spider-Man, which is obviously not a book, but people used to bring in like the what are they called? Like the books.
books.
Oh no, like the oh god, what are they called? We used to get them every year.
I know what you. I know what it is, but I want you. Yeah.
Is it what? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got it.
You still a big fan of One Direction?
Yes. I'm some members more than others, but I was a big Directioner.
I'm praying that we can't hear that in the background.
Did you want to pause for a second? He's obviously using a wall chaser. Multi-tool, actually, that is.
I just know that by the sound.
Yeah, that's a multi-tool. I don't think he's going to stop anytime soon.
Thank God. Okay.
Yeah, One Direction.
That's fine. So you went to see the 1D This Is Us film in August 2013?
Yeah.
Took a picture with the poster?
That's me. I think that is probably me stroking. I don't know if that's Harry Styles or Niall. What a great picture.
Yeah. One from the archives.
Yeah,
They'll all
that's a
be
great
up on the screen as well. Everyone will be
Oh,
able to
great.
see this. Yeah.
I'm so happy you'll get to see this.
You passed your car test first time,
I did.
which was very good
Yeah.
in 2018 with 3 minors.
Yeah, and I know what that was
I
on
assume
as
they were
well.
sat in the back.
Yeah, they should be, to be honest.
This outfit, by the way, as well.
Yeah.
Can you just talk us through it?
That's a vintage Kilo sale. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
A Ralph Lauren shirt, and I thought that was the best thing since sliced bread. It was all about the denim miniskirts and the tights. No shame.
So it
Ultimate
it
trend.
looks more like a corduroy.
Like an art student.
Yeah. You just needed a cigarette and it would have been
It would have
perfect.
been, yeah.
What else have I got here? So you like posting on Facebook a lot when you were younger?
Yeah, it's a bit bad.
You posted this.
Too much
Can you just read out the interaction for us?
TMI, too much information, Zed, which I think should have been a kiss. Oh, I knew that. Yes. Who knew what we'll be like when we're older? Wrinkled. I mean, I won't be because I won't get Botox, so...
How are you going to join the camels?
Yeah, I will join the camels.
How are the wrinkles treating you at the moment?
I have
Non-existent?
noticed I have started to get like little eye... they might say that's too much smiling.
Right.
That's
Oh my God, I'm so happy all the
Yeah,
time.
God, you need to stop that.
My life is filled with so much joy.
Frozen face.
Your enjoyment of sports activities
Yeah.
also started when you were young. Did you do karate?
I did do
or
karate.
judo? Yeah.
Yeah, I got to like a purple belt in karate, which was like
Yeah.
2 or 3 away from black. That's not even a joke.
I didn't think
I
it
did
was
it
a
for
joke.
some years.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to stop for various teenage reasons, probably. And my mum
Boys.
my mum made me sit in the car and go to tell my sensei that I wasn't leaving.
That's
Yeah.
humiliating.
She's like, right, you have to tell him you've done it for this long, which, Karen had her morals, so kind of respect it now, but at the time it was, humiliating.
If you did that now, you would have just left, not said
I
a
kind of
word.
wish I did keep at it.
Yeah.
Well, imagine that I'm a black belt in karate. That would have been
Why
some
don't
great
you?
law.
Why don't you pick it back up?
Got too many
Drop the roller
activities.
skating.
No, I can't drop the roller skating. Not the roller skates, not the roller skates.
You're a big fan of KFC.
Yeah, I love
Can you just let us know your go-to order, please?
Boneless banquet.
Really?
Yeah.
What drink?
And 2 hot wings on the side. Tango, and then for the sides, gravy and corn. I love the chips there. KFC did the best chips. Fun fact, me and Harry get KFC every Christmas Eve, and we watch Lego Masters. It's our little tradition. And
That's
build
very
Lego.
cute.
Yeah, I know, it's quite sweet.
So we found ourselves at the end of the podcast now.
Wow.
Can you ask a question to the next guest, please?
Yeah, I did actually Google this, so it was quite a good one.
Or did you use ChatGPT?
No, I actually Googled it. I went the old school method.
Jenna used ChatGPT for hers. I
It-
was actually upset about it.
I did that out of respect from yourself.
hmm
If your life had to have a theme song, what song would it be and why?
Are you asking them or me?
If your life had to have a theme song, what song would it be and why?
Okay, I'm going to try and book the next guest based on that question.
Oh, great.
I just want to leave the listeners with this. I recently found myself in court. I did something quite serious. I don't want to talk about it, but it was really, I'm not proud of it. And the judge and jury had to make a decision, and they said that I should face time for what I did. I said, Your Honour, I've got an Android. How am I supposed to do that? Thank you, Emily.
Thank you, Chris.
Wow, what a
That
day.
was great fun.
That's it.
Hopefully you can't hear too much.